New images released why police are hoping they'll jog memories of a Tasmanian cold case killing. The state government under fire over concerned sections of a long-awaited report will be kept secret. Desperate relatives search for missing loved ones. Maui counts the cost of devastating wildfires. Also ahead tonight, a new rate warning from the outgoing boss of the Reserve Bank. How you can cheer on the Matildas, Hobart's big plans for the World Cup quarter-final. And Netball's world champions plan their visit to the Apple Isle, a very special series locked in.
Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Houbaer begins now.
Good evening. A new lead in a murder mystery gripping Tasmania for decades is invigorating hope in a cold case. A person of interest behind the wheel of a car seen near where Victoria Cafaso was murdered in 1995 could hold crucial answers for police.
A beige Subaru station wagon of huge interest to police could hold the key to a long-running cold case. Police reconstructed these images in the hope someone may remember the actual vehicle back in October 1995.
It was noted as driving past the scene.
And police really want to know more about the man behind the wheel.
Approximately 6 feet tall, he was slim build but described as being very fit and had suntanned arms and legs and had the general appearance of a surfer.
He's believed to be linked to the murder of 20-year-old Italian tourist Victoria Cafaso at Freshwater Creek at Beaumaris. Searches continue near where the crime took place.
We have conducted searches in the past few months.
A $500,000 reward remains on offer for anyone who gives police the information they need for a conviction. Something which would provide much-needed closure.
This has obviously had a significant impact on Victoria's immediate family and has done for quite some time.
This could be the refresher someone needs. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Advocates and victim survivors are alarmed by potential reductions in the Commission of Inquiry's long-awaited report into child sexual abuse. Despite reassurances about next month's report, the government's power has been criticised, with transparency declared to be crucial.
As the Commission of Inquiry's final report nears, support services are readying themselves to help victim survivors.
They have really high expectations about the content of the report and the implementation of the recommendations.
For generations, Tasmanian governments have failed children. Those shortcomings will be laid bare.
It's two sides of the coin, both healing to know that the community is talking about this issue, but also a reminder of the trauma they've experienced.
A final report will be handed to the Governor on August 31. The government can advise on if certain parts should be redacted for the public.
What the government needs to commit to is only redacting or suggesting redactions where there's active prosecutions.
The Governor, I understand, can take advice from who she wants, but has an ultimate say.
Advocates say it would be a betrayal of those who gave evidence and all victims for large swathes of this report to remain secret.
Just because you were given permission to do it through the legislation does not mean it would make you honourable.
The Robodebt Royal Commission's final report had a sealed section with criminal referrals, but that decision was made by the Commissioner, Catherine Holmes.
That is a decision that is best left to someone with that legal training who is the head of the inquiry. And I know that we've got 2 former judges who are commissioners on this Commission of Inquiry.
We've invested a lot in having this inquiry. We want it to be as complete as possible.
When establishing this inquiry, former Premier Peter Gutwein said he couldn't change the past, but was committed to making a difference for the future. Integrity experts say that means putting out the truth, the whole truth, for all to see.
There is no room for hiding things. There is no room for secrecy if you're trying to do better. It's simply not compatible.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A disgraced Launceston accountant will spend at least the next 4 years behind bars, sentenced on more than 100 fraud-related charges. James Redmond Burrows stole more than $1.4 million from his clients to help fund his gambling addiction. Facing the Launceston Supreme Court, the 38-year-old was sentenced to 7.5 years jail. He'll be eligible for parole after 4 years and 3 months. The death toll from a catastrophic bushfire in Hawaii has almost doubled since last night, and authorities expect that number to multiply again. 56 people are confirmed dead, but emergency teams on Maui have barely started searching through the ruins of homes and businesses.
These are the final moments of an entire town and, tragically, many of its residents.
Jesus, help them.
Australian Neil Ewing is recording his American son-in-law Andrew is behind the wheel.
This was all houses burning, just burning.
Their wives are close by in another car.
Oh, look at that flame. Look at that flame just going crazy from that wind doing it. Yeah.
It was like being in a horror movie. It was like it wasn't real. I couldn't believe it was really happening.
It was horrific, really.
Look at it fanning that. Oh my God.
They fled their home just minutes earlier and managed to find safety on this ridge.
It's kind of weird because you're just watching it burn.
Every time that gust of wind just hit it, the flame just came up higher and higher.
It did not seem real.
Wall of fire, you could see huge fires jumping across the buildings from one end of the town to the other.
This is what he's talking about. Hundreds of homes and buildings have been lost, and right now the body count won't stop.
Bodies in the water that got dived into the water, trying to get away from it.
Many are still missing and unaccounted for. This man can't find his elderly father.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Have
you heard from his wife?
None of them. The number has been rising and we will continue to see loss of life.
Thousands of people are homeless and desperate.
Nothing. Everything is gone.
I'm trying not to cry.
This woman spent the entire night in the ocean to escape the heat and flames until the Coast Guard arrived.
Calling out, "Is there anybody alive?" And I yelled out, "Aloha," as loud as I could.
Today, there's an exclusion zone in the water as they search for bodies.
Anyone who's lost a loved one whose home has been damaged or destroyed is going to get help immediately.
In some cases, it's arrived already as neighbours rescue and care for each other. And with everything on land wiped out, they come from the water. This shows how desperate the situation is. As we approach one of the beaches on the west side of the island, people are waiting on the shoreline for supplies. Locals have been packing their boats with water, food and other necessities to deliver them to those in need. Officially, Hawaii is a state of emergency, but in truth, it's a state in shock. On Maui, Miley Hogan, 7 News.
And our reporter David Woywood is at the airport in Maui. David, tourists have been ordered to leave.
Louise, good evening. Yes, look, the message for tourists here has been pretty clear. They need to leave the island, and they need to leave the island as quickly as they can. Really, the focus of this community right now is on those permanent residents that have lost absolutely everything, and there are thousands of them. So because of that, we have seen these scenes of mass exodus here at Maui Airport for much of the day today. In fact, you can probably see behind me, people still camped out here, desperate to get on one of those flights. Now, caught up in that crush today, a family from Sydney. They were in that fire zone. They managed to somehow escape with just the clothes on their back, a miraculous tale of survival. I caught up with them at their gate, pretty excited at the idea of finally heading home.
Do we listen to the authorities on our phone, or do we just follow with our gut and go away from the smoke? And luckily we did that because the Civic Centre ended up being evacuated and burning down as well.
We're lucky, yeah, we left with our passports and this bag here, so we've got what we need.
An incredibly lucky story for those Aussies there. Look, the story isn't the same for plenty of other tourists here, many of whom in fact still have their passports and other documentation caught inside that exclusion zone, now forced to wait it out inside relief centres.
Just an awful situation. Thank you for that, David Woywood in Maui. The outgoing Reserve Bank Governor has warned interest rates could climb further as the country continues to battle inflation. Philip Lowe declared the worst of the cost of living crisis is now over, but he's not ready to declare victory.
7 years in the top job, 16 appearances before a parliamentary committee. Philip Lowe takes the hot seat one last time.
As always, we look forward to answering your questions today.
His final grilling on inflation and interest rates. The RBA boss acknowledges his decisions have been unpopular, but claims they've worked.
We're in a reasonable position now. There is a credible path back to inflation being within the target range. I know it's been difficult, but the worst is over.
Though not ready to declare victory, he's warned interest rates may need to keep going up.
It is possible that some further tightening of monetary policy will be required.
Economists say it's time to stop.
I think it would be a mistake to continue raising rates from here. We've already done enough.
A household on a $600,000 mortgage has paid about $14,000 more since the RBA started lifting interest rates. On a $1 million mortgage, $24,000 more. Dr. Lowe also weighed in on the political fight over the housing crisis. He says the states need to build more homes and slammed the Greens' proposal of a national rent freeze.
Might help in the short run, but create problems in the long run.
Reflecting on his time as governor, Philip Lowe reveals his biggest regret was overreacting during the pandemic.
We provided too much support and perhaps too much insurance, and that's contributed to inflation problems now.
Handing over the reins to Deputy Michelle Bullock.
I look forward to returning to be a private citizen again.
His next goal in life
is see if I can get my golf handicap to single digits.
Jennifer Beshwati, 7 News.
Tasmanians will be able to unite as one and support the Matildas in tomorrow's Do or Die World Cup quarter-final clash with France. Parliament Lawns is set to turn into a fan zone as support and viewership for the tournament continues to surge.
It's scenes like this that have captivated the nation. Live sites have brought tens of thousands of passionate Aussies together during the World Cup. Tasmanians will get that opportunity to unite tomorrow as our Matildas look to conquer the might of France.
It's about being together as a community, and that's something that we love doing.
To have a space to watch the game and to unite as a community is awesome.
Optus and the city of Hobart teaming up to transform the home ground of state politics into a fan zone.
It makes it okay for people to be together and enjoy something. It's about being together as a community.
People can come, maybe grab something to eat, and then just there'll be some face painting, some wonderful events, and then just sit down and watch the game and cheer.
Football Tasmania says events like this have a special feeling.
You can see the unique kind of atmosphere that you can enjoy. Tasmanians and in particular people in Hobart can get a taste of that.
Organisers are expecting hundreds to don the green and gold and cheer on the Matildas from here at the Lawns. The surge in support a welcome sight for Tasmania's female footballing community, with hopes it will leave a legacy on and off the field.
Watch their idols, they can follow in their footsteps and, I guess explore those opportunities.
You can also see the game here on 7 Tasmania from 4 p.m. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
And Laura Spurway's pitch side for us in Brisbane. Laura, the players are about to enter a crucial team meeting.
They are, Louise. They'll sit down to discuss the team lineup, and also the coach will meet with medical staff to work out how many minutes Sam Kerr can play. We know they're planning for more than the 15 minutes she managed in Sydney. They're hoping best case scenario she starts and lasts the full 90 minutes of regular time, but the possibility of extra time, well, that does throw a curveball. The coach hinted today that we may see Kaya Simon play for the first time this tournament. The Matildas have never made it to a semi-final in a World Cup. So fingers crossed that's about to change.
Yes, fingers crossed. Very exciting times. Thanks for that, Laura Spurway. Tasmanians will have the chance to cheer on Australia's world champion netball team in the flesh for the first time in Hobart. The Origin Diamonds will hit the capital in October as part of a 3-game shootout against South Africa.
Green, gold and gracious in victory.
The Diamonds have done it! They are the world champions!
Their win over in Cape Town was unbelievable, so good to watch and very exciting that we are now world champions.
And they aren't slowing down. The Origin Australian Diamonds announcing a tri-game series starting in Cairns. Tasmania clinching the other 2 matches at MyState Bank Arena on October 29 and 31.
First time we've been in Hobart and first time we've played South Africa in a standalone series in 18 years. So it's going to be a really monumentous occasion.
The state government's securing staging rights with a $500,000 investment.
There's a community outreach program that will be run by Netball Australia and Netball Tasmania as well to engage with the community.
And while diamonds may be forever, staying on top is not.
South Africa finished 6th in the World Cup just gone. They have a lot to prove. They think that they are better than 6th, and we think they actually are as well.
Die-hard Diamonds fans will have to be quick if they want to see the team live in action. Netball Tasmania's registered members will have the first pick of seats during a pre-sale on Monday before ticket sales open to the general public on Tuesday.
It'd be a huge, tick of the box to sell out these 2 games and put a very strong case forward for Tasmanian netball and what that might look like at SSN level in the future.
Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Stay with us. Still to come in the news tonight. A multi-million-dollar school takes shape at Brighton when the government expects to open the doors. Bursting into bloom, what our unseasonably mild winter means for the summer ahead. And an Australian icon drops in on Tasmanian students, why Dr. Carl isn't worried about our science future.
Season ever. September 1 on 7 and 7+.
Ever get the feeling you aren't where you're meant to be? Open Universities Australia can help you take the first step. To explore degrees, certificates and make study work for you, visit open.edu.au today.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
At least I got a great deal on my LDV.
Hurry to get the 7-seat LDV D90 SUV from $36,990 drive away for ABN holders. Visit a dealer today. LDV, bring it on.
Sleepy's King or Queen for Singles sale is now on. Explore our range of exclusive Australian-made King or Queen mattresses for the price of a single. Visit our experts in-store today and dream bigger.
There's a reason the Super Sleeper Pro has been our best-selling mattress topper for the last 4 years in a row, and why celebrities just love it.
When you wake up in the morning, you feel absolutely fabulous. You feel like you've been supported all night.
The difference it's made to my sleeping is amazing. I fall asleep more quickly and I wake up more fresh.
If you want the best night's sleep, keep watching, because coming up, you could get 2 of our best-selling Every Comfort pillows absolutely free. Mattresses are one of the most used items in our home, but over time they wear down, sink in the middle and just need to be replaced. Before you throw out your old mattress, try the Super Sleeper Pro, our best-selling mattress topper that rolls out over your existing mattress and makes it just like new. It's the only mattress topper that has 3 waves of cushioning support under the heaviest parts of your body. Super Sleeper's 3 layers of soft triple-density memory foam cradles your whole body for the best night's sleep you've ever had. The secret is in the 3-layer comfort pad technology, creating a seamless feel of comfort and support, while the unique tri-line positioning system cushions and controls your shoulders, hips and knees to give you a better night's sleep. Simply unzip the removable bamboo cover and you can pop it in the wash so your bed stays clean and hygienic all year round. With nearly 2,000 5-star reviews from customers who just love their Super Sleeper Pro, you can trust the premium quality will stand the test of time.
It will ensure that you have the best night's sleep.
Call 0293874100. Get to supersleeperpro.com.au and we'll give you not 1 but 2 of the best-selling Every Comfort pillows with adjustable and removable fillings so you get perfect alignment every night. $180 value. They're yours absolutely free and a 120-night sleep guarantee. Plus, free postage anywhere in Australia. Get your Super Sleeper Pro Every Comfort pillows plus free postage. Call now or go online and don't miss out.
What simple recipe has Fast Ed this excited?
Look, I don't want to brag, but this is sheer perfection. Look at it.
New Better Homes tonight.
The new Brighton High School is quickly being assembled. The Education Minister toured the site today, with the project expected to be completed by next year.
We've had a really good start. Nice mild winter has meant minimal weather delays, so we've had really good progress on site.
And having a structure that can be redeployed and have many lives and perform many roles in the life of a school and in the life of a student is something that we're learning to accommodate in design now.
Enrolment's open for the new school next year. Looks like we're still on that vision. We might be enjoying an unseasonably mild winter, but Tasmanians are being told they should prepare to make life or death decisions this fire season. Warmer temperatures and below average rainfall sparking increased fears of a catastrophic summer.
You'd think spring had already sprung. It might still be August, but plants are blooming weeks ahead of schedule. For local gardeners, it's an unusual time.
They're more advanced than other years, and things are flowering about 4 to 5 weeks ahead of time.
I've had daffodils and other perennials out for weeks. The ones that shouldn't be out, I've even got an iris out.
Bureau of Meteorology figures paint a dry picture. Record low rainfall was recorded in parts of Tasmania during July, as temperatures soared into August.
We're sitting at around 2.5 degrees above the August average for Hobart.
The conditions have a leading bushfire expert on high alert.
We're looking at a very high likelihood of extremely dangerous bushfires this summer.
He says the mild weather and climate change have dried out soil and fuel loads, which had flourished in recent years, urging locals to view the catastrophic scenes in North America and Europe as a warning sign.
Tasmanians may be having to make a life and death decision this summer.
Homeowners advised to start preparing now.
Thinking about where they're living, the sorts of fuels they've got, and really key into thinking about how dry the bush is.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
The Prime Minister has called on the Chinese government to free detained Australian journalist Chang Lei, but says it won't stop his planned visit to Beijing. Ms Lei, who has 2 children in Melbourne, has been jailed in China since August 2020. In her first public statement written from her prison cell, the 48-year-old says she hasn't seen a tree in 3 years. A US Republican congressman is calling for Australia to step up defence spending under its nuclear submarines pact with America and the UK. Mike Gallagher, chair of the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, says it will shape our ability to deter war in the Pacific.
We're going to have to reclaim our economic independence. We can't afford to rely on China.
Republicans previously threatened to block the sale of nuclear submarines to Australia to boost funding for America's domestic production line. Ukraine is evacuating civilians from towns already liberated from Russian control as Moscow steps up its bombing campaign in the country's east. Eastern Europe remains on edge too, with troops being deployed to counter a feared attack by Wagner mercenaries.
On a military base outside Warsaw, some of the 10,000 troops being sent to protect Poland's eastern border, along with Black Panther tanks and howitzer artillery launchers. We have to be ready for any scenario, the Polish defence minister says, worried about what might happen on Poland's 416-kilometre border with Belarus, where Wagner troops are now based after their failed coup attempt in Russia. The border is already hardened by steel. Belarus's president admits Wagner troops already want to attack Poland. The Poles accuse Russia of pulling the strings, as Moscow released video of its nuclear-capable supersonic bombers flying over the Barents Sea and the Arctic Ocean, a show of force the Ukrainians know all too well. This soldier inspects what remains of a town close to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, a community now abandoned, the victim of Russia's revenge for Ukraine's counter-offensive and attempts to end the war. In London, Hugh Whitfield, 7 News.
Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic has taken its first ticketed passengers to the edge of space. The rocket-powered VSS Unity was launched from a carrier plane over New Mexico, blasting 3 tourists and an instructor to an altitude of almost 90 kilometres. With a first taste of zero gravity, the newly minted astronauts enjoyed an unrivalled view of planet Earth. Among them, an Olympian who was among the first to buy a ticket back in 2005.
A completely surreal experience, but without a doubt, the most exciting day of my life.
He was joined by a mother-daughter duo from the Caribbean who won their tickets in a raffle. Not to be outdone, Russia has launched its first mission to the moon in nearly 50 years, heading to the lunar South Pole in the hopes of discovering frozen water. And it's a race to get there. The Russian lunar lander expected to arrive around the same time as an Indian craft which blasted off last month. The Emmy Awards has been officially postponed with no end in sight to the Hollywood writers and actors strike. The ceremony was meant to be next month, but a new date of January 15th, 2024 has been locked in. Insiders say any deal between the writers, actors and major studios is still a long way off. And Star Power has arrived in the north with Dr. Carl making a Launceston pit stop to launch National Science Week. The renowned communicator sharing some mind-blowing facts, hoping to impart some wisdom to eager students.
A captivated audience hanging off Dr. Carl's every word, presenting a fresh dose of fascinating facts to help shape a brighter future.
As long as we learn critical thinking and can apply it, I think we'll be right.
Northern students tapping into one of the nation's leading minds.
They've asked very deep and meaningful questions that covered many layers.
Hoping to inspire the next generation of potential prodigies as they prepare for future careers.
Words of wisdom and basically messages of good hope.
The Australian icon in town as the QV Mag launches National Science Week with a bang.
There really is something, whether you're 6 or whether you're 106, it's a great way to get hands-on and to explore Science Week.
Gaming galore is just one of the many workshops hoping to go off without a glitch.
We've got a full day of young people coming into the museum and learning how to make their own video game.
Combining all the elements and proving the quest for knowledge never stops.
The best part is the question and answer session, because that way I'll learn stuff as well as pass on knowledge.
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
And Tom Johnson will join us for the final time with the day's sports news later on, with Melbourne tight-lipped on Brodie Grundy's role, a family affair in the SFL, and the gruelling effort which produced Tasmanian gold at Cycling's World Championships. Those stories shortly, but first, after the break, we'll take a look at the day's headlines. And then the high-tech alternative to concrete, hoping to lead a green building revolution. And the Jobs Expo encouraging Tasmanian women to be fearless about their careers.
This mum has been keeping a secret. Now the whole nation is going to hear it.
I just can't believe that voice has been hidden.
The Voice, Sunday on 7 and 7+.
Hungry Jack's new Gravy Potatoes gives gravy and mash a new spin. Get gravy and potato flavour-filled fun to go with the new Gravy Potatoes Carry Cup for just $3.95 at Hungry Jack's.
Today we celebrate the long-awaited union of Richo's drill and his drill bit. Such a happy occasion, mainly because Richo can finally attack those odd jobs. Richo, do you promise to have and to hold this drill bit forevermore?
I do.
And Damo, do you vow to stop borrowing stuff and not returning it for ages?
I can't commit to that.
Fair enough. Well, I now pronounce you man and complete tool.
Congratulations, fellas. That's a great mate moment. And so's this. Sportsbet's Bet with Mates now comes with chat, so you can share a bet and some banter with Sportsbet. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Fall in love with Hungry Jack's fried chicken. Big, thick, crispy, juicy chicken with special sauce and bacon on the new Roadhouse Jack's fried chicken. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
I've only got this $890 extra that H&R Block got me.
You know it's the $2 shop, right?
This tax time, don't do it all yourself. Switch to H&R Block and you could get more for sure.
Specials this week at Salamanca Fresh. Farm fresh red capsicums $3.90 per kilo. Tassie Dutch cream and Kennebec potatoes $9.90 per 10 kilo bag. Free range Tassie lamb loin chops $18.90 per kilo. Salamanca Fresh.
Famous for freshness.
Triple M's Beat the Banker is back.
Beat the Banker.
And this time with more money and more chances to win. Register to play now at triplem.com.au and get ready to beat the banker.
The Nick Scali Winter Sale is on now, with everything reduced across the entire range. Everything reduced at the Nick Scali Winter Sale.
Don't you
on now.
forget about me.
Great fresh specials from IGA. Australian navel oranges, only $4.90 per 3 kilo bag. And Australian gourmet tomatoes, just $3.90 per kilo. Now at IGA.
Brand new escapes in the brand new season.
Again, wow.
New Escape to the Country. Tonight 8:30 on 7/2 and 7+.
Welcome back. These are some of the stories making headlines tonight. A 28-year-old cold case revived. Police release new images of a station wagon they say could hold the key to Victoria Cafaso's murder. Advocates and victim survivors speak out on fears sections of the Commission of Inquiry's report will be kept secret. An Australian family speaks about the terror of fleeing a raging wildfire on Maui as the death toll climbs past 50. And Parliament Lawns is picked as a live viewing site for tomorrow's Do or Die World Cup clash. UTAS's forestry building will feature the walls of the future made with hempcrete. In an Australian first, the experimental material, a hemp mixture that sets like concrete, will be used in a commercial build.
Apart from being a very environmentally friendly material, it's highly insulative, so you're going to end up with an energy efficient building.
We obviously will want to see it in situ, see how it performs over the next year or so before we think about how we're going to incorporate it into future builds.
A prototype is currently being erected with local tradies to learn to use it. Young Tasmanian women are being encouraged to take up careers in traditionally male-dominated industries at an innovative jobs fair. The Fearless Festival featuring live exhibits and demonstrations from a number of companies looking to bolster their workforce.
Challenging young women to be fearless when considering a future in STEM, hospitality and trades. This year's festival featuring a large Defence Force presence with multiple exhibits from all military branches.
We're really trying to encourage girls. It's a great opportunity. You get the same opportunity as guys, and I mean, the more girls we have, the more support we have.
The Navy offering pathways for women to become sailors, officers and engineers.
They're really encouraging engineering at the moment with the new nuclear program that's come out, and we need nuclear engineers.
The construction industry providing a live demonstration, hoping to spark an interest, building a cubby house which is being donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I've had a fair few girls come up and say that they're interested in the trade, which is really good because we're always looking for new girls.
Hospitality students from Don College also gaining valuable experience, serving up a gourmet lunch to visiting dignitaries. The two-day event now in its 7th year, growing from a small dinner to a fully fledged exhibition.
We say there are no glass ceilings. There's no fear of what young women can do these days. Everything from a builder to electrician.
Mark Zita, 7 Tasmania News.
There could soon be major changes to the way Australians test for bowel cancer. Local scientists have developed a clever bacteria that, when ingested, can sweep the body for cancer cells.
When Renee Smith was diagnosed with bowel cancer, it was already quite advanced.
Even though I'm alive to tell the story, it was stage 3, so I've lost a third of my bowel and I had to have chemotherapy, which has lifelong health implications.
Early detection is key, but free screening is only available to the over 50s. So researchers from Adelaide Uni and the US are developing a screening tool that's not only more effective, but could help younger adults too. It uses bacteria that track down cancerous tumours in the digestive tract.
We've engineered the bacteria so that they can go along and pickpocket from the tumour to capture the DNA from the tumour and give us a signal to tell us that the tumour's there.
Whenever there's something of value, there's a skilled thief ready to make the snatch.
Patients could take the engineered bacteria in pill form, then follow it up with a blood test.
And then relatively quickly we'd get a readout of whether that person had cancer or not.
While the focus of this study is bowel cancer, researchers hope their findings can be used in the fight against other aggressive and typically asymptomatic types like pancreatic cancer.
If we had a way of finding it early, that would be hugely powerful.
But that will take some time. Ashley Kanowski, 7 News.
Help with DIY projects and importance dates, plus the quest for love. They're just a few of Australia's top Google searches over the past 20 years. The internet giant has released the data, giving us insight into what matters.
Since the dawn of dial-up, we've scoured the internet for answers to life's mysteries.
We started saying, oh, let's just Google it.
And now Google's crunched 2 decades of data revealing our most searched questions. Number 1, what's my IP? 2, when's Easter?
And 3, an age-old fashion dilemma. How to tie a tie. Is it round the back?
It's like a bit of a personality test for Australia.
Our history reveals we're a nation of romantics, asking things like, what is love? When's Valentine's Day? And how to make candles.
It's so fascinating to see the spectrum and the diversity of curiosities.
We can't get enough of real estate, dogs, flying to Bali, AFL, NRL, and surely parents are responsible for the DIY top searches, how to make Play-Doh, and slime. It seems we're culinarily clueless, Googling simple recipes, which could be why a common near me search was for Bunnings. Snags, anyone?
And while we've all Googled ourselves, some way more interesting results appear when you search questions beginning with why is. The most popular ones include, why is the sky blue? Why is my poop green? And why is the internet so slow? Come on.
Google's mission is to organise the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful.
Any more questions? Just Google it. Tom Hartley, 7 News.
Now we'll take a look at the end of week business and finance news, brought to you by Tasmania's own Bank of Us. The Australian stock market has closed lower, with stocks in energy and information technology the lowest performing of the day. The ASX 200 index fell just 18 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 65 US cents, 94 Japanese yen and 51 British pence. And sports next with Tom Johnson. Good evening for one last time, Tom. It's a big night ahead, not just for you, but for my Pies too.
Oh, you're dead right, Lou. The Pies without some big names as well, so it'll be a test in the midfield. More on that one next. Also tonight, Nick Kyrgios out of luck ahead of the US Open. And one final flashback featuring Fairzy and a fairy tale finish for the Crows.
Season ever. September 1 on 7 and 7 Plus.
Make it your best breakaway.
Say hello to your new 12-month term deposit rate from MyState Bank at 4.9% per annum. It's a term deposit rate you can't miss. So come into branch or visit mystate.com.au to lock in a great rate today.
The Nick Scali Winter Sale is on now, with everything reduced across the entire range. Everything reduced at the Nick Scali Winter Sale.
Don't you
On now.
forget about me.
At Spotlight's Homemaker Sale, VIP save 50% off all bakeware, 40% off coo cushions and throws, and VIP save 40% off all food storage. So you can bake it, plump it and store it for less, all backed by our bargain guarantee. Sale on now. At Spotlight, it's what you make it.
If you're a pickled onion lover and one that wants true blue, why not try Blue Banner pickles, grown in Tassie just for you. Enjoy Blue Banner in the morning, as a snack or after lunch. No matter when you eat Blue Banner onions, bite them and you'll hear them crunch. And if you don't agree that Blue Banner pickled onions are the crunchiest pickled onions you've ever tasted, just send us a copy of your receipt within 30 days of purchase and we'll refund your purchase.
One magnificent dark fish.
One magnificent $903 note. It's the extra that H&R Block got me.
This tax time, don't do it all yourself. Switch to H&R Block.
Looks legit.
And you could get more for sure.
Take it to the next level. Elevate your adventure in a Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. Backed by Mitsubishi 1010.
Harvey Norman hot deals on technology. Get up to 25% off Acer computers, like this Acer Aspire 3 laptop. Now just $388, save $110. Boost your productivity with the Acer Aspire 5. Now only $698, save $200. This Acer Aspire 3 is loaded to go with 16 gig RAM and 1 terabyte storage. Save $300. The compact Acer Swift Go with a stunning OLED screen. Now $1098, save $400. More hot deals at Harvey Norman now.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
This sport update brought to you by Euphoria Furniture, stocking a contemporary range of fully imported Australian and Tasmanian-made furniture, bedding and accessories.
Good evening, and well, what a game to kick off this weekend's footy. Fans are streaming into the MCG for the Pies and the Cats. Collingwood will be missing Nick Dacos and Steele Sidebottom, potentially giving the underdog Cats a better sniff of victory. It'll be a beauty, top 8 shaping for sure. Coverage straight after the news on 7 Tasmania. Melbourne is banking on an instant payoff after a patient recovery for superstar Clayton Oliver. Simon Goodwin remained guarded on Brodie Grundy's role as the Blues throw down the challenge to their undemanned midfield.
As Simon Goodwin found out firsthand, Max Gawn has been near unbeatable in recent weeks. But for the first time in a month, he's not the only big man in red and blue.
It's been obviously a little while since I've been out on the G, so really looking forward to it. I'm just looking forward to hopefully playing my role this week in the forward line and contributing to a team win.
In terms of the strategy of how we're going to use Max and Brodie and how the game's going to play out, we're not going to go into that today.
The Blues midfield still without Adam Cerra and Sam Walsh. The Demons welcome back Clayton Oliver.
There'll be some really important battles that are the won and loss in there, and but I guess we're asking as a midfield group to be able to get at it, and at least if we can even that battle in there, then hopefully give our forwards some looks.
The Demons will be looking to maintain their second spot on the ladder at the MCG tomorrow night. But if Carlton can win, it'll be the first time they've beaten the Demons since 2016. The Blues have won 7 straight, including their last game against the Saints. But Ross Lyon says he's over it.
Today's Friday, right? So we're pretty much moved on.
They'll finally have their 2 best forwards for the first time this year. Tim Membry and Max King ready to take on the Tigers.
Him and Max kicked 68 goals between them last year, and we basically haven't had them. So Our young forward line's done their best, but maybe it's the right timing for King and Membry to get to work.
And 20 years after he was controversially denied,
Michael Gardner showed that he was dominating the big man around the ground. So Michael Gardner.
West Coast's Ashley Sampi has finally received his Glendenning Allen Medal for his 2003 Derby performance. Kate Massey, 7 News.
In the SFL, the family-friendly feeling at Lindisfarne has helped convince its coach to sign on for another year. Trey Westbury says the two Blues convinced him and his family to stay at the club. After a stuttering start to the year, he also wants to build on their recent hot form.
That first 3 games, we were sort of just getting to know each other. Still playing okay footy, but obviously 3 losses. Since then, I think we've gone 7-3, with those 3 losses being by under 10 points. So we're really starting to gel.
Lindisfarne has the bye this weekend. To soccer, the Clarence Zebras are hoping to stamp out their losing streak in an extra special match this Sunday. The team will take on the Kingborough Lions in the state's first Battle of the Franklin, designed to raise awareness and funds for prostate cancer.
We face an uphill battle in regards of the game, and obviously we've got the Prostate Cancer Foundation coming in as well, so it's in regards of the whole match itself and the whole event, it's important.
It's about members that we've lost in the past. It's about members that are actually going through the same prostate cancer journey that I've been through, and no doubt it'll be about members in the future as well.
Meanwhile, Tasmanian soccer star Lucy Johnson has signed with Sydney FC in the upcoming Women's A-League after 2 seasons with the Newcastle Jets. You can tell how much effort went into a Tasmanian gold medal at the World Cycling Championships. Felicity Wilson-Haffenden collapsed at the finish of the Women's Junior Road Time Trial in Scotland after giving every ounce of effort. Her first placing follows national and Oceania titles earlier this year, after making the switch from hockey to cycling. A medical briefing tonight will decide just how many minutes Sam Kerr can play in tomorrow night's World Cup quarter-final against France.
Definitely would never ever see Sam as a disturbance to the team. They've been amazing teammates supporting each other. There's been no complaints whatsoever in terms of if you start or come off the bench.
Spain was denied by the post twice in a matter of minutes against the Netherlands. In a dramatic quarter-final, the Dutch conceded a handball penalty only to equalise in the dying minutes. But it was Spain prevailing in extra time, winning 2-1. Star jockey Jamie Carr's racing comeback has been locked in. She's booked a ride for Melbourne Cup winning trainers Kieran Maher and Dave Eustace at Caulfield next Saturday. Carr hasn't returned to the races since a heavy fall in March. Nick Kyrgios won't play a Grand Slam match at all in 2023. Last year's Wimbledon finalist says he's heartbroken about pulling out of the US Open because of a wrist injury. Kyrgios has only managed 1 competitive match so far this year. And well, tonight is my last Friday flashback, so as a Crows fan I couldn't help but wind back the clock to 1998 when Adelaide went back-to-back in the grand final against North Melbourne. Now the big clash whipped both sides of Bass Strait into a frenzy, and the Crows had a little extra push on Southern Cross News from the sports presenter of the day. At footy stores across Tasmania, fans were clawing for Crows or rushing for Roos merchandise, and although local support was split...
Crows. North Melbourne, all the way, mate.
There was no questioning one Tasmanian fan, Southern Cross sports presenter Rob Fairs.
All year I've copped it from my workmates, Steve and Murph. But boys, Adelaide's into another grand final. And come 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, I may have the last laugh yet again.
Yep, that's the one. Stop and check. His support may have been the boost the Crows needed as a foreign legion crossed the border as huge underdogs. The Crows would need to draw on the fighting spirit of Muhammad Ali on the road to the Holy Grail. The songbook was sounding familiar as the Red Hot Roos waltzed to an early lead. But Wayne Carey's men would kick themselves out of the game, booting 8 goals 22, opening the door to the Crows.
He's kicked the goal!
Nigel Smart put the icing on the cake, Malcolm Blight launched from the boundary line, and Fairsy donned the Guernsey on the Southern Cross desk, something seen on the TVs fans crowded around in pubs across the state that day. A tradition which lives on for Tasmanians and footy fans across the nation. That's my lounge room too. Now, Lou, this is it for me. I arrived here in 2016, a bit wet behind the ears, still a little bit as well. And since then, I've just fallen in love with Tasmania. I've been honestly truly overwhelmed by the messages and best wishes from so many people. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has let me share their story or simply enjoy my work. And I've come to this point on the shoulders of my colleagues and mentors who have been so good to me and made, well, this my world. I have loved it so much, and I could never give Tasmania as much as Tasmania has given to me. So, thank you.
Tom, I can honestly say we've absolutely loved having you here, and we know how much you've loved your flashbacks. Well, tonight we have a special Friday flashback of your journey here from the Southern Cross days to now.
Well, joining me for the first time at the sports desk is Tom Johnson. Welcome, Tom.
Police say the use which they've applied to this Saturday's decider on the west coast, smashing into this fence, even for Polly here. Jump out of the way, practice their skills, raid to the op shop just up the road as they're distracted. Juniper berries. Frog in a pond. For a Gilbert, excitement and attention. Heart beats again.
We're going to miss Tom because the thing about Tom is he does everything with passion and with a whole lot of love.
Valentine's Day often prompts people to find a partner. It's a tame young male who's most likely going to end up in the show pen. So nice to be able to meet you. Just as important as kissing often is kissing well. The tip for Tasmanians is to make time to lock lips. The app can be used by anyone. It says there are more than 50 different types nearby. Hopefully, none of them deadly. They don't say a whole lot, but they sure know how to party. If you've got a really cool car like me with rear spoiler and 6-stacker CD as standard.
Everywhere he goes, someone wants his autograph.
We've been bombarded with emails, letters, cards and even telegrams from his fan base out there.
He likes to Joe Palmer.
It's about getting some exercise and making new friends. Very fitting. Cheers to that. By building up a relationship over time. After all, getting chocolate lovers along is a piece of cake. He's then back training for more than an hour a day. Marathons are tough, and a night on the turf before doesn't help. Yo, look, I'm ready to party and, you know, to be the best takes plenty of practice. That vision has finally come to life. This is a great result. All I need now is my chauffeur. But gee, I've loved it so much. Will you have me back?
Of course we'll have you back, Tom. And we love to have Trust Me Tom back on.
Tom, it's been a joy. You're just a lovely person.
I came in full of confidence today, but let's just say experience counts. He's set to run for many years to come. Thomas, the Tank Engine, 7 Tasmania News. And she's hungry for a win.
What a beautiful and hilarious tribute to a beautiful bloke. TJ, I can say you're a genuine legend on and off the screen, and personally I'm honoured to have worked beside you all these years and to have formed a long-lasting friendship. You light up the newsroom every day and our viewers' lounge rooms every night. To say you'll be missed is an absolute understatement. So from all of us, goodbye and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That has just blown me away, that package there. And I hadn't seen that before tonight, but I know my good mate Tom Whitmore spent a lot of time putting that together, and I'll tell you what a fantastic memory. I've just loved Tasmania so much. It's been a privilege, an honour, so thank you. Again, thank you for having me. Thanks, Lou.
Pleasure.
You're the best.
Come back anytime. Thanks for that, Tom Johnson, for the final time. But thankfully, we are keeping one of our news legends. Peter Murphy will join us after the break with the weather forecast.
The drama Australia loves is back.
No, you stay with me.
It felt like a pretty clear exit strategy.
You could have trusted me.
Brand new RFDS, Tuesday after The Voice.
We can see more of the world than ever. With Bridgestone Tech Check, you see what needs repairing now and what can wait. so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
Diana saved $153 when she switched to Yui.
To have that $153 back in my pocket was just fantastic.
Why not give Yui a try? Maybe you'll save like Diana did. Yui, you insured.
Get the best value on gaming at Officeworks, like this Typhoon gaming chair for $198, or this Typhoon gaming desk for $239. Head into Officeworks today.
Southern Wire are your Australian-owned, operated and fabricated fencing partner since 1993. We're Australia's leading innovators in exclusion fencing for feral animals. To find out more, head to southernwire.com.au.
It takes something special to make the old man cry. Like this Castrol Magnatec 10W 45 litre for just $30 and 25% off Maguire's Car Care. Drive your dad to tears this Father's Day with the perfect gift from Repco.
Bonus time on LG at Better. 635 litre side-by-side fridge, $19.98 plus bonus $150 Visa gift card. 8 kilo washer and dryer laundry pack, $23.97 plus bonus $200 Visa gift card. Go local, that's better.
Oh, you're beautiful. Value means more with 20% off orders over $10 this week, only on the My Maccas app.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
This river won't run to you. This mountain won't fall at your feet. These rocks won't roll over. Nor this ocean rise to greet you. Freedom won't make the first move. Some things you have to go out and get. Grab life by the Jeep.
Make it your best breakaway.
At the Nick Scali Winter Sale, save 40% off the Wren 3-seater, only $18.90. 40% off, now $18.90.
Don't you
only at Nick Scali.
Forget about me.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by the Commandy. Destination dining and boutique accommodation in the heart of the Huon Valley.
Good evening. Hobart and Campania well above average again today. The state's high of 17 degrees, Launceston and Devonport 13, Burnie 14. Fingal our low with a -2, but temperatures during the day between 1 and 3 above normal. Grove 16, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park 15, St Helens and the Bass Strait Islands 14, Low Head and Strawn at top of 13. Cloudy conditions over most of Tasmania as the cold front approached. Darwin Dam recorded 10 millimetres to 4 p.m, the best fall. Now we can see that frontal band here heading our way on that big map. Troughs have produced cloud over southern WA and the next front is south of the Bight. That second front will approach us from the southwest as the initial front decays tomorrow afternoon. A large high is building to the west as well. The winds western northwesterly tomorrow at 15 to 25 knots and to 30 knots over the south. A swing around to the southwest should happen late morning with swells building to 4 and 5 metres. We have a strong wind warning that's been issued from waters from Sandy Cape clockwise around the state to Low Rocky Point. Saturday for Hobart, 13 with a shower or two. Showers for Medina, a top of 9 and 10 the high for Oatlands. Launceston, 14 with a possible shower, 14 for Devonport. A bit of snow easing from Lyowini, 5 degrees tomorrow with snow down to 700 metres expected. A shower or two for Burnie, 13, 12 the top for Strawn. Marrawar, showers easing and 13. St Helens, a top of 16, a possible shower, partly cloudy for Swansea, 13 the high for Orford, a possible shower for you as well. On to Sunday and a fine partly cloudy day apart from a possible shower for the west and far south. Temperatures a bit on the cool side though. A shower over King Island on Monday but fine for the rest of the state, and on Tuesday another cold start followed by a fine partly cloudy afternoon. A bit of cloud over Perth tomorrow as we look further north. Showers forecast for Adelaide and Melbourne, becoming cloudy in Sydney, a top there of 21 degrees. But fine and sunny conditions, 27 in Brisbane tomorrow. Bit of light rain over Hobart. It's 11 at the moment, 11 in Launceston and cloudy, partly cloudy in Devonport and 11 degrees. Well, yes, that's completing our Tom Johnson News Hour for tonight and also the Tom Johnson career here in Tasmania. During the break, we've had lots of people calling in wanting to see one last look at Tom. Lucky the man on the move is still with us. Tom, all the best for the future, mate. Now, there's a song from the 80s that said, "The future's so bright, you're going to wear shades." That will reflect you. All the best, buddy.
Thank you, mate.
And Louise, listen here. Get rid of the news. We've got some serious farewelling to do.
You're guilty.
I'll see you in just a minute. Thanks for that, boys. That's all your news for now. We'll be back later with updates and we'll see you after the Matildas game tomorrow for your Saturday night bulletin. Have a lovely and safe evening. Good night.